Where are we?
Oh, welcome back to Smelly Durban.
Smelly Durban. You got some Mozambique-alitis.
Definitely. This week's been a bit bleak, eh?
Mozambique-alitis. It's like giving birth. That's how much it hurts.
Big time.
Or more.
I think a bit more, eh?
Welcome back, everybody. It's our final show for the 2023 comp. A little bit of recap, we'll run through and just chat about it and
how the event went. Yeah.
Share a bit of what we thought maybe worked, what didn't work. And then, options for dates for next year, maybe. Or not maybe, definitely. Entries and all what we plan to do for what we hope to be a proper comp again.
We'll step it up a notch again.
Or we'll try.
We'll try, yeah. I think all in all, Chariot was a great event. The feedback I've got from the guys afterwards now is everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves. It was very, very nice to get back up there. I think we used this as a bit of a recce year again, we've all been up there, but it's been 10, 12 years since we've been up to Paindane, and I must say, what a pleasure. I don't think we had any issues whatsoever. We were all a little bit skeptical about heading up there.
We had the Amy, the fugitive van der Merwe Jones.
Oh yeah.
Tried to run away from the cops, hence her dick of the day.
Correct. Yeah, but generally I think things went well. We had the C team obviously arrived a bit late on Saturday evening.
Much to their unawareness.
I think they had a few too many beers maybe on the road.
In the past, obviously the harassment we would have got on the road was a bit of a deterrent.
Yeah.
And like you say, we had we had 40 guys there and not one guy was, let's say, harassed on the road.
Yeah.
Like if he was speeding, the guys would say, I was speeding, I got a fine. Come on.
It was your own fault. Yeah,
but
there
in the
wasn't.
past, you would be harassed, bribes, and every stop they would pull you over. I found them quite pleasant. They would, they'd see you coming, and once you got closer, they'd wave you through, which is a great, which is great.
Yeah.
It's to see that they're sort of, I think, a little bit more welcoming to us coming back there.
Yes.
So that was nice. And in terms of the event, we did this. We recceed it. We obviously put it in November because we didn't know what would have happened in July last year, because some people don't realise, but a year ago now, Mozambique was closed. Beaches were closed, COVID, there was nothing. You couldn't even go on the beach in Mozambique. So even July was a little bit close to that, so obviously we winged it and made November. And we did have good weather. We had really good weather. Going forward, obviously we'll chat about the dates.
Yes.
And I think a lot of the guys also didn't realise is, the time and effort that we put into the comp, with the entry fees and everything that it covers, we actually buy all the prizes too.
Correct, yeah. It's not like the old days where you got
so
things handed out to you and said,
cool
guys.
prizes, or you get this or you get that, or couldn't you have got this? Like literally every penny that comes into the comp, we go and buy as many prizes as we can and we give it back to the competitors.
That's it.
You don't just rock up at the local tackle shop and that gives you a box of prizes.
Those days are gone, unfortunately.
They have long gone. So that side of it is obviously we try to give back as much as we can. I think if we look at the results, maybe there's not a few people there that didn't win either a lucky draw or something somewhere like that.
Everyone got something,
We tried to give everybody something.
And
I think it's also been what we've done in that Paindane Comp. I've always tried to give everybody something. And that will always be our plan, I think, going forward, that comp. You've got to try and, value for money is great, experience is great, but let's be honest, let's go and do a signing to see. What's it going to cost you?
I don't have a clue.
I don't actually have a clue, but probably 30 grand now.
I'd say at least,
And that's 3 nights in a tent.
Yeah.
We're staying in chalets, we're getting dinner.
Exactly.
We're fishing, goodie bags.
Even the goodie bag itself, that is a lovely goodie bag.
The value of the goodie bag was probably close to 2 grand.
2 grand at least, minimum, so the guys, I think, everyone really enjoyed that.
And who can go to Mozambique for a week? For 6.5 grand?
No, you can't do that anyway. If you go to Vidal for a long weekend, it's going to cost you 5,000 rand.
Yeah. So value for money. It's a bit of the guys look at the entry fee and go, wow, it's at first, but I think once you've experienced, you're like, really?
Yeah. We must say thanks to Arfish for our little jack. Slow pitch jigs.
When we say that no one gave us anything, of course, like the Arfish guys, Basil Manning guys, really cool. They gave us some prizes.
And also Mr. Phillips from Dirty Prawn. Thank you very much. The guys really enjoyed using those.
Is that the same guy who said he might have hurt his foot in the shore break?
Yeah, no, he did an injury in the shore break. So
is the shore break's name Grant Decker?
No,
it's Matt Stricker.
Not Stim Dalton.
The fugitives have damaged one of our
Cheapers.
sponsors.
That chalet gave it horns, but they did not stop.
They won that.
I think Storm's got red lips as we speak. He still has it.
I think that might be that chalet might have got the man of the match award.
100%. Maguire was in contention, but
he might be the individual man of the match.
yeah, individual man of the match. Maybe safety officer would have won that. But
Safety officer.
Decker was on top form.
Oh,
Matt
yes.
Stricker, yeah.
Nadeka's pants. We have to talk
Beaut.
about those.
Those see-through pants are beautiful.
I mean, some of the people on the beach were scarred.
No, I think those Mozambican locals did not know where to look.
Yeah, the ladies that were helping down by the washing the boats never came back after day one.
Scarred for life.
Yeah, scarred for life.
Yeah.
Decker in his see-through long pants.
Yeah, so Mr. Dirty Prawn, shore break injury. We hope you're recovering well.
Yeah, I think you should post a photo of your foot in the moon boots. Eh? We actually have a photo. Maybe we'll share
We'll
it.
share that photo. Yeah. Thanks, Dave, for your contribution. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and of course, Lures for Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. They made.
Batis and Mika, thank you very much, guys.
Yep.
Those lure packs were most welcoming, and the guys really made use of them. They got some good fish on those good jigs.
Yep.
Going
Look,
forward.
the fishing was different this year. I think different fishing, like we've always experienced in Mozambique. Like we always say, when any fishing, you say, match the catch. We caught that one big bonnie on the double when we were bugging around, and it spat a little carapau that big.
Tiny.
And I was saying to you, like, yes, all the small really jigs are going to work, and that's what worked this trip. Because I think that's what the fish were biting on. But you were feeding on. But you can go back in another time of the year, and the fish are chasing the bigger carapau, or and stuff like that. Then of course the bigger lures will work.
Definitely this year. Definitely you're right.
Micro
Smaller micro jigging would definitely work this year.
Yeah, I mean this year the guys were saying slow pitch jigging and those micro jigs were lethal.
100%.
I think mine's still in the packet. I didn't unpack it, but nice of them to tell us afterwards. Almost as good as the secret of the live bodies at Paindane, which we won't mention any names. 3 individuals kept to themselves until the last morning.
Oh,
We thought they were paddling in the bay because they were lost. They were catching live bodies.
I thought they were too scared to go beyond into the express, maybe.
Well,
but
it looked like it.
It looked like it.
And they were catching live bodies. And then they didn't share it.
They didn't share the love.
No, that's not good.
But yeah, for someone like Carl Mika, he got his fish on that live bonnie right next to us, and I think
made a lot of noise.
He made a lot of noise. The noisiest I
we
can
were
see.
on the amberjacking mark, which is about 1.5 kilometers from there. We heard him shouting.
But to see the joy on his face when he put that fish in the hatch, I think it meant it all to him.
And the help and the camaraderie on the water. I know we were helping him, but I mean, that's what we talk about in this comp. But we were lines up straight over to him. We talked him through how to fight the fish, how to land the fish. That's the beauty of it, And
I think that's also feedback I got. The guys were so happy that we shared information with them leading up to the comp. Scott was kind enough to share a lot of the marks. I mean, I know a lot of the guys, Marcus got his secret spots, but he also shared the love. He gave a lot of information to the guys on the opening videos, and he really helped the Cape Town guys a hell of a lot. They said to me they learned so much in this week fishing with Marcus.
Well, that's what we talked about before this event. You go here. I'm speaking once again about a similar group of guys. They say the same thing. They say, like, I learned in 1 week in Paindane what I would learn in 5 years of fishing.
Exactly.
And you do. And the guys, like you say, everybody was helping each other. That's why we try and have the get-togethers every night. Because while the guys are waiting for dinner or prize giving, they talk about where they
caught fish, what they did.
Caught.
Correct.
And the guys will feed off each other. Even if the guys don't give all the information, the guys
you're getting a little tip, and you start puzzling a bit. It's definitely not your traditional kudo or snook fishing like we used to here.
No.
It's a total different kettle of fish, and I can say Brad stood out there. I mean,
Brad who?
The Prince of Paindane.
The one Marcus said wasn't going to win.
That's the one.
Okay, we're just checking.
Kudos to Brad. I mean, he fished like a champion. He was very nervous when he said to me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with the fitness, and he really did well. He stuck it out every single day.
100%. I think, let's talk about fitness. Everyone says, you got to go to Paindane, you got to paddle miles and miles, you got to be so fit. Well, he destroyed that myth.
100%.
I mean, no offense to Brad. Brad hasn't paddled for ages. He wasn't exactly peak fitness, but he's used his brain. So when he fished, he'd take his time, he'd get to the mark, he'd fish the mark hard, he'd puzzle, he'd change the jigs, he'd interchange and try a different jig, and he'd work that mark hard, and he'd get the result.
When he got the bite?
And then a lot of guys would go to a mark, and go down and go down and go down and not get a bite and move and paddle to the next mark and go down and move. Like they were moving so much and like, yeah, you move, of course. But sometimes you just need to apply yourself on a mark in different ways.
Correct.
And you get a result. I mean, that first morning, you had 4 species, I think 45 kilos of fish.
Yeah.
Some of the guys were struggling for one.
Yeah.
And of course, then it was chase.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about a species comp, is if you have one morning of that, then the guys start chasing. And also that got Brad's tail up.
Correct.
He started to get excited, he wanted to fish, he's dragging us to go fishing with him.
Yeah.
Which is, that's what fishing does.
Exactly.
You get the bite you want to go. You get the bite you want to go.
Of course.
So that helped a lot too, and it kept him. But yeah, I mean, you got to use your brains in this comp.
Yeah.
You can just put your head down and paddle, and you will get fish. And
I mean, conditions.
Guy Galbaum did. Guy's legend.
I think Guy did 300 Ks over the week that we were there. I mean,
yeah. Okay, so yes, that'll give you results, but it doesn't always give you results. So he did it. He got results, but some guys paddle as much as him and
didn't get those results.
Almost didn't make the top 10.
Yes.
So yeah, you've got a puzzle. And obviously you've got to find the things that work for you. So some guys got all their fish in 2 days, not over 5. Like Mark Richardson. Mark struggled a little bit on the first day, I think it was, or the second day. The third day, obviously, he didn't fish because of the weather. Day 4 and day 5.
Just cleaned up.
Yeah, he cleaned up. I mean, he ended up coming, I think, 5th, am I mistaken, in the comp. But right up there, close enough to be right near the leaderboard.
Contention, yeah, I mean, initially, the first 2 days, we really had green and cold water. The guys had been, the east had been blowing there for the week before as well. So it wasn't your normal 26-degree water, inky blue. That unfortunately only arrived on the Thursday.
There's Mr. Richardson himself.
Mark!
Welcome.
Welcome.
We're just talking about you.
We're planning the next year's trip. Are you ready? Yeah, so initially we had cold water to start with, and the guys really struggled for fish initially. But as you say, the guys that stuck it out and puzzled found their fish. That green or that blue water only came in on the Thursday afternoon when we were out there. And it really, Friday morning was a complete different ocean.
We didn't have howling winds that you couldn't fish.
No.
It's just, I think the northeast had been blowing for so many days, and progressively every day the water got a little bit colder, maybe a little bit greener.
Yes.
We had the one afternoon we thought the blue water was coming, and the next morning it was even colder. Even greener. I think I got it on Thursday morning at 21.6 degrees.
Yeah, no, it was freezing for that. For Moses.
I mean, that's like
unheard
middle
of.
of winter in Durban, trying to catch bait stuff.
Yeah.
And then the southeast came that afternoon, and we watched the blue water move in from our shallow, and the next morning purple and 26
degrees. Yeah. And then the game fish arrived.
Yeah. That's where the guys started to get different fish from the fish that they got the days before. Once again, the whole idea of the species, Green water, they got X and Y. And Brad actually hit the nail on the head. So on day 1, when Brad caught certain species, he said to me, no, listen, I need to go here this afternoon, because while this green water is here, it's easier for me to catch those
to target
species.
the other
so
species.
He knows, he knew. Yeah. And he did, and he got them. And then when the water cleaned up, obviously he obviously started to get other species.
Correct.
And I think that's knowledge as well, knowing the local
area.
Like he was saying to me, if the water cleans up, you're not going to get those other species. And it's true. If you look at what was caught on day 1, they almost disappeared
completely.
The week.
Yes.
And
you didn't find them.
Were caught towards the end of the week. But it was the conditions and the wind and the water on day 1 that allowed those species to come up.
So
on that side of it. Yeah, so I mean, that was just a general about the comp. I mean, there's obviously the top 5, top 10.
Yeah, it was really good to see the young bucks chasing the old bucks.
Yeah. The old sea dogs.
The old sea dogs. Just Mark. Cam, Sim, and Jono, and Tyron.
Cam, Sim. Puzzle. I've never seen someone stress so much in the bar every night. But that's what I loved about it, honestly.
It's great to see that competitive nature coming out.
The guys asking each other questions. I mean, they're experienced anglers, but they're still thinking, what should I do tomorrow? Where should I go?
Yeah.
If I go here, maybe I'll get this. If I go there, maybe I'll get that. I know the guys are getting that fish there, but I've got that fish already. Maybe I need to go somewhere else. And he did. He was puzzling. He had a big puzzle before the last day. In a way, I think maybe I know the way he fishes, he made a bit of a mistake and went to the same spot he had caught the same fish. He would have been better off going somewhere else and targeting a different species and coming unstuck doing that,
yes,
and going to the same spot and spending his morning catching the same fish he's already caught.
Yeah.
I think that's the mistake he made. Oh, it's easy to say that afterwards.
Yeah. But that coconut area was definitely holding more of a bite than Paindane initially.
I'm not denying it. I mean, where they were fishing, the fish were there. If you look at someone like Brad won and he won going away. What was the difference that Brad did from everybody else? Brad fished Island Rock.
He fished Paindane.
Fished coconut, manta, and the spark.
Yeah.
And if you look at his fish, where did he catch them?
90% Paindane.
Yes, but
the species.
If you look what he caught where, it was in different spots. And that's what he did.
He knows the area.
After day 3, he had got his, I think he was on 5 or 6 species after day 3. And he said to me, I have to fish coconut because everyone's getting those fish there.
I have to move on. He hasn't been there.
No one's caught them here.
Yeah.
So he did that.
And he went and got his
species. He could have stayed at Paindane and stayed on 6 species and maybe got a little bit more weight and finished 4th.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But he didn't. He moved.
Yeah.
And I think that's what also the other guys did.
Yeah.
It's so easy to go, I caught fish there yesterday, go back. It works, the swings and roundabouts. Jono Rhodes was, I think, sitting at about 6 or 7, maybe 8, I'm not sure, after day 4. And then he goes and racks up 40 kilos of kuta, an extra species, and one another species.
And there was this on the morning session.
And bang, he almost came second.
Yeah.
So he was fishing in the same area as Cam, and he did that. So it paid off for him.
Yeah.
But, like I'm saying, maybe sometimes the guys going forward need to say to themselves, I need to take a risk.
Change it up a bit,
we took a risk Brad took a risk by going to Island Rock on day 2, and he got nothing. When I say he got nothing, he got the same fish he'd caught on day 1, nothing extra. Okay, he did lose a big elephant.
He did,
to the gaff, but I mean, that's standard. In the Dolphins, it could have happened anyway.
It could have happened anyway, yeah.
But you got a weighing kingfish there that he hadn't got yet. He tried, and obviously we didn't. We puzzled for kuta for 2.5 hours, we didn't get.
Yeah.
And
I think that's
we didn't go back there.
Yeah, well, maybe we should have.
No, I don't know about that.
That's the beauty of this comp. You've got to constantly be on the top of your game and think. It's not just fishing for kuta or for snook.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're targeting different species, and as you say, you find them in the different areas.
Yeah. Well, especially not always. Sometimes you can go to Paindane holds everything. Sometimes you can go in coconuts. I don't know if you had that experience, but maybe coconut holds a bigger array of fish, which they did. I mean, the guys
sometimes
lost
coconut can be quiet, right?
Yeah.
Our fish coconut is dead.
Yeah. So I mean, just saying. So you've also got to look at the patterns of what's happened, and I think that's what we did. If we look at the progression of that event back when it happened for 7 or 8 years, a lot of the guys that now, Mr. Richardson, Brad, we started to work out patterns. Which you can't really teach a guy. You can give a guy marks, you can give him information, but the clever angle will work out a pattern. Will work out what might be holding where. If the water churns, the color changes, the current moves.
Tidal too. The tide played a big part in this year's comp as well. I mean, we fished over spring tides, full moon springs, and you could. When you were sitting out at Paindane, literally that express was pumping when it was sucking out. And as soon as it filled up, everything settled. And it was an easy paddle.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of current too, which normally you would at Paindane, probably a little more than we actually had. Surprisingly, because we had a lot of northeasters.
Yes.
I thought that current after 2 days, I thought, oh my God, we're going to be going backwards. But we also forget, back then we were paddling skis that were nowhere near as efficient as they are now.
I must say,
to that sense, we might be disguising it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we are. Because it definitely is a pleasure fishing on these new crafts. I mean, it's chalk and cheese. There's no slapping of the water. You
can move to a mark quicker, whereas in the past you used
to struggle.
Oh man, I've got to paddle back out there. That's a long way with this, this current. So that changed. Maybe that's a part of it. I don't know. But we definitely didn't have as much current as I'm used to. I mean, even from fishing on a boat, sometimes you can literally watch that current ripping around that rock. We didn't really get a lot of that. I mean, there's something for everyone to catch there. I think every single person caught a fish.
I don't think anyone blanked.
Even I didn't blank.
Are you sure?
The amount of hours I put on the water, I should have got more than I did, but I didn't. I mean, everybody got something in the end. Obviously, some guys struggled, and some guys maybe didn't get as much as others. For various reasons. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they just didn't adapt. But also, like we say, different types of fishing happens. So the guys that like a more strong lure or bait fishermen didn't really get fish because we know that was not working until the last 2 days. And then in the last 2 days, those guys who still stuck to their lure, they started to get more fish. Mark Richardson got a lot of fish on a nice lure. You know, a guy like Rayno who just loves to sit and catch kudo. He doesn't like to puzzle too much on jigs and things like that. He got a couple of fish.
Yeah.
I mean, the Aussie guys with him were getting fish all the time.
Yeah. I think also just mention those Aussie guys. I mean, they made a tremendous effort to get out here, and we appreciate that, guys. I think the guys thoroughly enjoyed it. Two of them are traditional, or actually South African guys, and
the Pink
they
Panther?
have the Pink Panther.
The Pink Panther? I don't know about that Pink Panther. You know, there's Australia, and I used to go there and race a lot. I used to have this thing on TV commercials called Slip, Slop, Slap. Okay. And it does, I think it was slip on a hat, slip on, I don't know, it was to do with sunscreen, a hat and a shirt. Do not get sunburned. They are like paranoid about getting sunburned in Australia. And rightfully so, the sun's quite harsh there. And along comes Duran in Paindane, strutting around the beach, shirt off, and just fries himself like a piece of tomato.
His tattoos disappeared.
They turned red.
They turned red.
That's why I call him the Pink Panther. So I think, or it could have been the RNRs.
No, maybe.
Maybe a skin change colour from the number of RNRs.
Yeah. Maybe you got RNR poisoning.
But big ups and a big thanks to the Aussie guys.
Yeah, and well done to Ben. I mean, first time on the ocean. Never been fishing this, and he got some beautiful fish.
I mean, he lives 4 hours inland in Australia.
Yeah.
Freshwater boy. I think he works with Duran.
Yeah.
And Duran brought him along and boom.
Loved it.
Carp. I think he got bonito. Off the top of my head, I think he ended up with about 4 different species and some quality fish.
Good fish.
That one carp was, I think it was 8 kilos.
8 kilos. That's a beautiful fish.
Yeah, it's a beautiful carp. And that just shows you know, he got on the water, applied himself, and he caught fish.
He caught fish. Yeah.
I mean, we're obviously going forward in next year's event. We'd love to have more guys from Australia.
Yeah.
We'd love to have more guys from New Zealand, America, you know, anyway.
We can open it up for sure.
We're obviously going to talk about opening up from January. We'll have the comp, opening it up to it. There's no secret in the fact that we want the dates to probably be about June, July.
Yeah, I think it'll be a nice time of the year.
Looking at around what would happen traditionally would be the school, university holidays in South Africa. Because we've realised, you know, there are young guys and students that if it's closer to their holidays, and especially in the middle of the year, they can get away.
They can get along.
Mozambique, for various reasons, in winter is a little bit more friendly in terms of the sun. You don't get absolutely fried. You won't have to wake up at 3 o'clock to be on water at first light. Because
7 days in a row.
So the sun comes up at 6. So your fishing day is a little bit shorter, but it's not as punishing because you actually can get proper sleep. So that's that side of it. And then, of course, opens the options to some of the guys. I know some of the guys here who love to fish their lighties.
Yes.
Double.
Yeah.
It opens a door for father and son combinations to come and join in. If you really want to bring your family, maybe bring your family as well. Just block your ears with some of the guys in the bar.
Yeah.
But that's the idea, is closer or in a holiday that allows students, maybe even guys from school, you know, there's young guys.
Yes, young chaps that start out.
In the past, we used to have a guy like Mike Pellegrini.
Yeah, he was still at school, yeah.
Mike was about 14 or 15.
15 years old, yeah.
And he had, I think he had bronchitis for the week.
Yeah, obviously.
That's what he told his teacher.
Yeah, but it opens it up, like you say, I mean, and it would be great to have families along. I think an event like this, everyone traditionally thinks it's a boys' tour, but it certainly lends itself to opening up into a family event as well. And we chatted to Lee and Andre, the owners of Paindane, and they're very, very keen to have more families along too. So just chatting along, you know, the lines of Paindane itself, we still firmly believe that is the destination.
Oh, look, it's the venue.
It's the venue. We won't move from there.
It's traditionally where the competition's been, and I think Lee goes out of her way to help
100%. I mean, big thanks to her.
And that makes a difference. And I mean, the venue in Paindane itself is a beautiful destination. Yeah, there's Kinshasa and there's other places and Coconut. Like, Paindane is where we are, where we feel at home. And, you know, obviously through COVID, everybody struggled and a lot of places really struggled. And we know that places like Paindane probably didn't have anyone for 2 years.
I mean, it's been very, very hard for us.
Everyone was like, places might be run down, but Lee went out of her way and really, you know, helped.
No, for sure.
from it looked like, everything was in as good a condition as was our...
Yeah, I honestly didn't think there was anything different from 10 years ago.
We made a big, obviously, contribution, like you said. We helped a big contribution for her to apply some time
Money back into
cleaning up
it,
the chalets. They fully booked in December, which is great.
Which is nice, yeah.
So going forward, nice to see a place like that that's always had kayak fishermen at heart.
Yes.
Doing it. And I mean, out of the competition too, it's if you're going to Mozambique, central Mozambique, it's probably one of the places that I would recommend more than other places to go to, because of how easy the fishing is.
Yeah.
So we look at, I was talking to someone afterwards. So I did a test. I launched at Paindane. I walked out of the restaurant, sat on my ski and paddled to the outside jigging market, Paindane. Took me, I think, 6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 minutes paddle. And
No,
I'm
your
fishing
ground's all right
in
there.
40 meters, drop shotting there. Yes, the guys are going to coconut. But what the guys didn't tell you is some of those guys were paddling like from coconut to deep spike, Manta. They were going...
That's 7 Ks.
50 Ks in a day.
That's 8 Ks north.
Yeah.
Then you got to fish.
Yeah. So the accessibility of different fish at Paindane is so much closer.
Yeah.
You can get in your car, you can drive to Coconut of the Day. You can get in your car, you can drive to Ginjata, which is what a lot of the guys did. And yes, you can do that. So that's why I always say Paindane has a lot more for us. At even different times of the year too, I think. Obviously,
You get
different things. But yeah, how welcome we feel there, and a little bit extra out of the way that they go to help us is great.
It is great, yeah.
We were not really sure.
Yes.
Now we know.
It's still 100% fine,
There's a lot of chalets available so that we can open up to a few more anglers, try and get closer to the 50, 60 mark with competitors. Still limited, because like you say, there are safety things and all other reasons that we try and limit the entries. And hopefully through having a bigger entry field and more people and maybe through the coverage that we've put our time and effort into, the sponsors will come on board and help us create maybe like a nice big cash prize next year.
It would be nice. It would be nice to do something like that. I mean, I think the prizes that we gave out this year were very, very good. If you look at the local comps that we attend.
We didn't skimp on the prizes. I'm just saying, to elevate it even more
to the next level for sure. Yeah.
Maybe we can chat to the guys in Oz, guys like Dennis, maybe Griff in New Zealand, and they can run a local comp with a prize.
Yeah.
Because I think we're prepared to host the guys.
Definitely.
We're prepared to throw in an entry fee for a local guy if he's maybe won a comp in Australia.
Yeah.
The trick would be to raise the money for the flights.
Flights, yeah.
So maybe we can chat to them and see if they can, have a comp where the guys pay. I don't know what you would pay there, $50, $100, or whatever. You get
that goes towards a ticket, yeah.
It goes towards their ticket, and we do the rest when the guys get you.
Yeah.
Just open the flavour a bit.
That's it.
We'd like to get a guy like Rocket out here.
Yeah, it would be nice to have him out here.
He's got an unbelievably good following.
Yeah.
So maybe we can find a way to get him out here and get him
involved.
Fish locally and then fish the comp as well and that.
Yeah.
And a couple more guys that are really strong and active in the social media side of it, I think, can help us do what our vision is and make this comp even more global to the spectators out there.
Correct.
That goes a long way.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of the guys who fish super hard and they're worried about where they come, but there's also guys out there that can spread the love amongst everybody else.
Exactly.
What we did with Uncle Dick was world class.
Yeah.
I think.
Thank you, Dick.
We learned a lot.
Yeah. It's not as easy as we thought it would be, but
no, look, we had laptops not working, Dick getting tick bite fever. We had all sorts of challenges, but we pulled it off.
I think we still pulled it off. Yeah.
We've had a few people already thank us for the coverage we did, which is great.
Yeah.
And then we'll create, like I say, next team, instead of having just Uncle Dick, maybe we can have a team of 3 or 4 people and create it, and obviously move around a little bit more and develop on what we've done.
Yeah.
Obviously everything costs money, so you've got to, within a budget, you've got to work it out. But I think that would be the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and also I think just a thank you to Tarek from Prime Zulu Charters up there.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to get Dick onto the boat, and they drove around a bit, got some nice footage.
Yeah,
and also,
you say thank you to Tarek. Then maybe we're talking about Paindane being a great destination. and Ganjar to the area. And I think that's also another reason to spend some time in that area. You know, if you love your kayak fishing, there's no one who loves kayak fishing that doesn't like to fish on a boat.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And Tarek's got freaking world-class boats, world-class facilities.
He knows the area very well.
And you put you on to fish on a boat. So you have the opportunity to fish off your kayak. You don't have to take a boat up. You can pay your money and spend a day with Tarek and Prime Zulu. The
most helpful guy up there, I must say. I mean, he really helped us with a lot of issues that we may have encountered. My little trip down to Island Rock, he came and fetched us when Dick was man down. So thanks Tarek, we appreciate the help. And I think all in all it was a successful tour. Looking forward to next year's one. It'll be fun.
I mean, so we've talked about the event now. Like I've had a few questions from a lot of people, and the guys go, "So okay, cool. Like, what did you like about? What didn't you like about?" I think I don't know if we sort of dropped the ball, but what we probably didn't get right was in the results. Everybody asked the question, "Okay, what species did they catch?" And we forget about it because we're there, we see it.
So
it's like going forward when you do spreadsheets of daily results and things like that. Make an effort to say,
yes.
Brad Arthur on 4 species, and those are the 4 species that he's caught.
Correct,
and the guys can actually see.
Give a little bit more detail to the guys. So, Cam was asking me about those results as well, and just saying he'd like to see what he caught and what he should have been targeting. And it was also nice for the competitor on the day.
I think Cam's problem was
he forked up. 100%.
Yeah.
Read the
rules. You know. Yeah, read the rules. I'll say nothing else. You know?
But as you say,
hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Give the guys a little bit more detail. These are the species that have been caught.
Outside. These are the species the guys have caught, and then they can see what other species the guys get, and hopefully maybe that'll explain it a little bit more, and then give the total kilos times a thing, so the guys can see how it changes. Because like Brad maybe finished 400 points ahead of Marcus, but what was the difference? Was it one species or was it weight? In Brad's case, it was weight.
It was weight, yeah.
I mean, you got 2 GTs, just 2 GTs on alone, gave him 40
points. And that
times 8, that's 320 points on 2 fish.
On 2 fish.
And that was a big swing for him.
Yes.
Same as like we talked about John O'Rose getting those 2 kuta. I mean, he had 40 kilos of king mackerel as a multiplier.
Yeah.
And he had 7 or 8 species in the end. Also, that's like a
just bumps you up straight away.
Point swing for him.
Yeah.
It goes from 300 and something points after 4 days to 700 and something points after 5 days.
Makes a huge difference.
The dropping a day factor obviously also made a difference.
It did.
Some of the guys had to puzzle about which day they dropped, and some of the guys didn't. We had a bad weather day, and it worked out wonderful because the guys rested.
And most guys dropped the Wednesday.
I think what the guys don't understand is if it had not have been a rest, if we didn't have that ability to drop a rest day, almost everybody that was in contention would have fished that Wednesday, and by Friday they would have been completely poked.
Totally buggered.
But they took a day off, slept in, went to Tofu. And looked at local culture and what was going on. So that sort of swing rest day will always make a difference.
Some guys drank quite a bit of Spice Gold that evening, eh?
Everyone mentioned their names.
The poor Lati, sorry.
You made the critical error. But I mean, the guys learned a lot. Some of the guys who went up to the trip were like, before the trip, probably going, sure, shouldn't I go? Shouldn't I go? Should I? Everyone I've spoken to that was a lot of not sure.
On the fence.
Like, where's the date? I'm going. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So we.
That is a special place, eh? And I mean, even for us when we arrived there on that Friday afternoon, just as we arrived there, you get the view of the point in the bay, and you're like, oh, this is paradise, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And it's special. You feel like you.
A whole lot of outside stress, whether it be work, business related, or whatever is sort of in the cupboard for the rest of the week.
Exactly.
And you
switch off and you just enjoy. It's a special event, and I'll urge any kayak fisherman to come along. It's really it'll be the ultimate trip for you.
I think from my point of view, I think I undervalued how much the species comp used to contribute to our fishing. How much we used to learn. The fishing is the same as it's all. And, fishing locally is fishing locally. You got your ways and your hows and your means. But that species guy gives those guys so much knowledge, and they come back and they apply something that, like I say, would have taken a long time for them to learn fishing very one-dimensionally, if I could call it, locally, and they get better results locally.
Locally, yeah.
And they puzzle.
Yeah.
Because you learn to puzzle it.
Yeah.
And I think I undervalued that. And what I realized in this COP, watching every day and spending some time on the beach and chatting to everybody, and the guys are like, it's like, yes, this is a type of format and type of fishing is so exciting.
It's exciting.
Every day
there's no boring day.
Yeah, and you're learning. You're trying so many different things.
Yeah.
And then you want to catch something, whether it be your dream fish or just a species you haven't caught before.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that for me was something that I undervalued. Obviously being involved in that event, spend every year there.
Sometimes, I think the format of the species comp is really good.
Yeah, sometimes twice a year, 3 times a year back in the day, and I undervalued how much that contributed to fishing. Yeah. To myself, to everyone else that I know has been there.
Yeah.
Because of how much you love doing it.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, there's guys locally that I know that didn't attend the event that used to come. Let's say a guy like Muir Robertson, for example, from Scottsboro. Old Muir, like he absolutely loved coming to that guy. Yeah. He would sit on the marks and he'd jig all day.
Yeah.
He'd hit the beach with a smile.
Yeah, big smile.
And that's what I say. Like those kind of things, I'd undervalued it because I've maybe been going to too many times. Now I come back and I go, okay, I can see the value of what it does, what it adds. The tackle shops thank us. Because my God, I've never seen so much tackle in my life.
I have some of
The poor old safety officer came with his tackle box, and his eyes nearly fell out his head when he saw everyone's tackle. You know?
No, I mean, I think when he walked into Richardson's room, he couldn't believe what he saw.
So he walked into Kingfisher.
Yeah, I think the tackle shops do need to thank us. I think the guys spent more than their fair share there.
I mean, going forward, our plans, launching the website, Blue
Waters Adventures. It's an exciting time for us. We're trying to grow it.
So we'll be focusing on true Blue Water Adventures, is running events like this.
Yeah.
Obviously tours,
destination travels.
Also, if guys want to go on holiday, where to go, who to see, while you stay. This is a springboard for us, and then of course you'll be able to enter the comp through the website.
Correct.
Then we'll have our online store. Through the online store and entering the comp, you'll be able to we'll do package deals like we did for Lures for Africa.
Yes.
4 squid jigs thing. You can then buy it through the website.
Through the website, yeah.
Get it delivered to you. Obviously, special prices because you're a comp entrant. So that's the way we want to do it. Keep it easier and simpler.
Yeah.
We fishermen. We just like to
share the love. Yeah.
So our job is to do the hard work to make it simpler for the guys to come along and join us. Yeah. Maybe introduce a payment plan for the guys. So
payment plans, they can look at that, and then also guys that don't own kayaks, we'll rent out kayaks. We do the rental scheme already.
Yeah. So you entry fee, you just add a kayak. Maybe you want to come from Cape Town and you don't want to bring a kayak.
Yeah.
I mean, Aussie, we kitted out a 575 with a fish finder for him. He just arrived there with his paddle and his rods.
Happy days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So things like that. Obviously, then allocating what we've learned is maybe an extra trailer that someone tows up that we allocate space so that you can just pay
a fee for
your kayak on the trailer. Now all you need to do is sit in the car and get a lift.
Maybe we can do a shuttle service for that. A booze bus.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know if they'll arrive there.
We have to make sure that Decker's not in the booze bus. Or
Stricker. Or
Storm Dog. Or Cameron Sim, John O'Rhodes. Should we go on?
No, we can't.
We've burnt enough people.
Ant might go into that bus.
Oh, the safety officer.
He would love that.
He could be like the bus coordinator.
Give us a tour. My name is Tony.
Hello, my name's Tony and I like to dance.
To dance?
The local tour guide.
Yes, dick of the, fucking day.
We had some buttes.
We did.
Jeepers, it was really funny.
Yeah, like I said, Amy Sorrel van der Merwe, the fugitive, they called her nickname.
Yeah.
The safety officer.
Shit in my shirt.
Oh, shit in my shirt, safety officer. You would think, okay, I'm head lifeguard, right? I've grown up on the beach my whole life. What do I specialize in?
The ocean.
Rip currents. Okay.
You should know how to take a turd in the ocean.
Movement of the water, sandbanks.
You should know. There's no excuse.
And he gets it all wrong and poops in the ocean
And it ends up in a
Because
shirt.
he said he had a sore stomach from his prawn broth. So we'll talk about the prawn broth.
We won't talk about food envy.
Food envy.
Food envy.
You've never seen someone have food envy. He says prawn broth upset his stomach. But he climbed off his kayak, pooped in the ocean, and the current was going the wrong way and it went down his shirt. Okay, so that's it. We say now. So that's how he got his dick. Right.
Okay.
Then there was Kieran, our pinky swear fun Fieran.
Oh my gosh.
Rugby tough boy making girls pinky swear.
No.
A tough guy like that.
No. I'm sorry. He deserved it as
Maybe
well.
that's why he's a hooker. Otherwise he'd be like a flank or a eight man.
Eight man or something.
Hooker making people pinky
swear.
Then we had, oh my Lord, Scott Hunter. Yeah, no, he still thinks that someone framed him.
Yeah.
But I mean,
No.
we got the video evidence.
The video's there.
Him dictating how they used to climb through the window.
Come on. Exactly.
And then the winner.
Well, that's the beauty. You're not going to live this one down, Brian.
Instagram name,
No.
the kayak clown.
For no reason.
For no reason. Yeah. So yeah, the kayak clown.
And,
The only person I know to kidnap locals and keep them hostage while he didn't realize he even had them under
those
hostage.
poor people, they must have thought they were going somewhere
They're
else.
still probably
Scarred for life.
scarred.
Yeah.
They're going to see a car come down the road with one of those locking, like those canopies.
And just run.
And they're just going to
Run.
You're not even going to ask for a lift.
So now, what's the deal with that for Brian? You said he's going to...
Yeah. The unfortunately thing that you win is that because he's a UKFC member, and obviously UKFC is a huge part of us, of what we like
Yes.
being in kayak fishing. Unfortunately, any UKFC competition that he attends, he has to wear the paraphernalia.
Perfect.
So you'll have a nice necklace, nice shirt, and a little floppy hat.
Beautiful.
I don't know if he's probably lost the pants knowing him because he loses a lot of them, but at least we'll know who he is.
He's not going to live this one
I look
down.
forward to the UKFC comp in May next year and seeing what the prize giving in his paraphernalia.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
He's not going to live this one down. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a couple of other things. I think one of the other things we mentioned, we've toyed around with from our side of it, is obviously raising funds for the event. Maybe we can, not maybe, I would like to have what we used to have, what we call it, as like a Sunday morning comp, a flash comp.
A flash comp, yeah.
Okay, enter online, 150 Rand or 100 Rand or whatever, biggest fish wins X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
We use that to raise funds for the comp, but the grand winner of the 3 flash comps, free entry.
Free entry to the comp, yeah.
Like those are the kind of things we'll do. So we'll throw up carrots around there. We'll try and do another sponsorship thing for the UKFC guys again.
Yes.
Maybe the winner of the Grand Slam can be an annual entrant to the comp.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Grand Slam species. We need that guy. So those are the kind of things we can do. Hoping to continuously bring the best anglers to compete against each other, because those are the guys that lift the guys that are learning.
Yes.
You know, we talk about Ben. Ben, never been in the sea and he caught fish. But there were other guys, you know.
Yeah.
Matt Stricker, undersized shad man, and he walked away from comp for the prize for the biggest tuna.
Yeah.
You know.
He could not
Those are
stop
the
smiling
guys
too.
that came from the event on little to no experience of kayak fishing, wanting to learn,
Yes.
and learned a heap. And of course, caught great fish.
Yeah.
So that's what we want.
When you take someone like Grant, Dicker paddled his backside off, Charlie, and he fished very, very hard.
He did.
And he got his fish on the last day. I think it made his trip for him. I mean...
And he did, and he applied himself. But equally, I can tell you that he probably learned on those days when he wasn't catching fish as much as he would have learned if you hadn't caught that fish on the last day. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you go to Mshleti, you go with your dead bait, you don't get a bite, you go home, I didn't get a bite today.
Yeah.
What did you learn? I got to get a bite.
Yeah.
You go there, you don't get a bite, but you're puzzling and you're talking to people.
Yes.
And then you realize, oh man, maybe I made a little bit of a mistake. You know, like I'll use Jono Rose as a good example. Jono caught those 3 kudu on the last day. So Jono wasn't struggling. He was obviously in the top 10, but he wanted to change something up. So he went back to something that he trusted, which was, you know, lighter wire, smaller hooks, caught some live bait.
And he got his fish.
And he got 3 kudu.
Yeah.
You know, and Tyron from Burn said he was watching TV.
Yeah.
It's like Jono went back to something he trusted.
Back to his basics, and
a basics that he knows. It works for him in Vital. If it worked for him in Vital, why wouldn't it work? Yeah, and it worked for him.
It worked, yeah.
So that's what I was saying. That's the kind of thing that you learn.
You're constantly learning there. And I think that's also, as you said, it's about sharing the knowledge with the guys and giving back to the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's probably everything that we can.
Yeah, that's a wrap for now, I think. Yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you everyone for coming along.
Whoever made the effort to join us.
Thank you.
Made the effort to enter the comp and come and fish. Mike Vivi, get your passport, brother.
We did miss Mark.
If we could have had virtual Dick of the Week,
You would have got it.
he would have got it.
100%.
Yeah, we would have had to wear the outfit to the magistrate's court. I don't know how that would have gone down. nice necklace and hat.
Stop it for the tie.
Oh, no. So, Mark, make sure you have your passport. You definitely need the weighmaster next year.
100%.
I didn't get enough time fishing because I had to weigh fish. That's why I'll stick to that one, okay?
Yeah. You stick to that.
Yeah,
one.
I'll stick to that one. I look forward to, like I say, let's hope this event can grow.
We can grow it.
People. Lots more, maybe we can come up with some new innovative things. We encourage everybody, please, to email us.
Yeah, mail us.
Is that the info at Blue Waters Adventures?
info@bluewateradventures.co.za. Let us know your thoughts and any ideas.
Do you like the dates? Do you don't like the dates? Do you, like what
The
works
format
for you?
of the
What
comp.
didn't work for you? Any ideas in terms of catering maybe or anything?
Anything.
Like that's what we want.
We're open to any suggestion,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah.
Like I say, we winged it again this year. We tried some things that we were forced to try. Maybe we weren't. We tried some things that we thought would work. Look, they felt like they worked. But,
Yeah.
But it's
You
easy
never
to
know,
say
maybe
from when you're organising.
Yeah. But let us know, guys. We're open to any suggestions. Like, give us feedback, positive, negative.
Yeah.
We like hearing what you got to say, and let's try and make it a better experience for everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chetty.
Thank you, Pierre.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dick.
Thank you, Dick.
To my wife as well. She's running around taking photos, dealing with
Thanks, Jen.
fishermen.
Yeah, well done.
To everybody that contributed in some way, like you said, Lee and her husband from Paindane, Tarek.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the people that
Really made it.
really contributed.
Yeah.
That was good.
Cool. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. Over and out. Till next time.